I was scrolling, browsing, being a little troll, okay, on YouTube, and I came across a video about estates, asset protection, family offices, and we did this research a few months ago, and it was sort of, I used it as a lead magnet, right? 3 states for the locked in best asset protection in America. And I never really used it because I went a different way with the company. But because I saw that video, I said, man, people need to know this. Somebody responded under me and said, hey, do you know what state, or do you know, you can help me out with that? Can I get a link? There's one state in America that's hands down, like totally hands down, the best state for estates and trusts. I mean, they lock it up and throw away the key. Hundreds of years. Okay. Things are moving inside of your family office, your estate, your trust. This state don't play with anyone trying to come after that asset. And there's one state that's just the best out of all states. All right, so let's get right into it. So when I ran a small cargo van business, I went from LA to Montana. There's me driving all over the place. And it wasn't anything. I didn't think anything of it until I got to Bozeman. Carrying artwork in the back of the cargo van. I went to a quiet side street, actually, in Bozeman. To me, I thought it was just like a basic drop-off. Pull whatever the hell is out the back of the truck, back of the van, put it in their warehouse, and let me get out of here. Because it's cold up in Bozeman. It's snowy in Bozeman. Well, there was an owner. It's a husband and wife duo. The wife was in charge. You could tell. So they opened the bay for the warehouse, and in it was marble statues, tons of crated art, crated chandeliers, museum style pieces. I said, what's going on in here? I'm all curious. So what they do is store artwork for wealthy clients. And, that's some things that you kind of see on the movies where it's stored overseas, the Switzerlands, the Bermudas, the Bahamas, whatever, just movie stuff. But when they opened it up and I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, wow, this is like the real deal inside America. So the clients that they have, of course, are wealthy, and there's some kind of tax benefits. She didn't kind of get into it. I was like, why Montana? Why Bozeman, right? So they've been in business since before the housing collapse in 2008. And there's some benefits for the wealthy to store their art there. I don't know what it was. Maybe privacy, maybe tax benefits, liability protection. I don't know. She didn't really get into that, but she said, and with a smile, that this is the place where they store their stuff. After leaving Bozeman and getting stuck in Montana and Wyoming for like a week, I started thinking about other things like, why? I wanted to know. I wanted to do the research. So I reversed engineered what was really happening. So it led me to 3 specific states that are used by the rich to protect their businesses, art, digital assets, and even their names. Okay? I'll protect your name. And how, Wyoming, it'll probably pop up in your head, straight anonymous. Okay? It's probably one of the only states that you could, form a business 100%. No one knows who owns that business. Okay? You get a registered agent, just straight anonymous. So they're using tactics inside America. It's not a movie anymore. So I'm gonna give you the scoop, the lowdown. All right. So If Montana had the vault for art, South Dakota is the fortress. Like, let's get into it. That's where the wealth goes to hide and stay. A lot of people think South Dakota, they think of Mount Rushmore, they think of the Sturgis, the biker stuff. They don't really think of estates and trusts. Why? They want it like that. All right, so they use South Dakota to legally shield assets, hide beneficiaries. Who's going to get this? Who is in line? Hide it. You don't know. So they create multi-generational control over wealth that could last 100. Listen to this. This is not a fib. 100 to 1,000 years without ever showing up in public record. I'm going to show you how they do it. So family dynasties, international investors, ultra-wealthy individuals build trust-based empires that are immune to lawsuits, divorce courts, government digging. They lock it down. Throw away the key, fortress. Dynasty trusts with no expiration date. South Dakota lets you create trusts that last for centuries, meaning you could protect wealth for your children, their children, and beyond, all while locking in tax advantages. It's called asset protection trust. It's almost like a firewall, right? You ever learned about that with your computer? Put a firewall up, nothing gets through it, except for some real advanced hackers, but still. But if someone sues you or comes after your assets, South Dakota law makes it extremely hard for them to touch anything inside these trusts. Plus, there's other benefits. There's no state income tax. There's no state estate tax or capital gains tax. None of this. So you don't protect your wealth here. You grow it and you drag it into the future. Then there's the private trust law. So unlike most states, South Dakota doesn't require public disclosure of who benefits from the trust. That means your name, your children's name, and your entire wealth strategy can stay completely off record. Now, here's how they use it, okay? You could set up a trust of your business, brand, art, royalties, or real estate, even if you're not wealthy by the numbers, right? So, you set this up, transfer your LLC or cash flowing asset into a South Dakota trust, and add an extra legal layer between you and anyone trying to sue you. I don't know. There's a lot of people out here that they're like, they look for how to sue people. Like, I'm about to trip on this sidewalk out here because I know I could sue them. I'm about to fall in Walmart because I know I could sue them. I'm about to, they just live like that. South Dakota don't play that game. That's why you have a lot of people, they buy these houses, they buy some assets, they don't put it in an LLC, they put it in their name. Your name is the most out frontline army infantry. Your name is the infantry going out first, okay? So LLC has limited liability. Then you throw the LLC in a trust. Forget it. So you can use this trust to pass wealth without estate taxes and keep your name out of public probate court. And wealthy families often pair South Dakota trust with Wyoming LLCs. As you know, Wyoming LLCs straight anonymous, okay? Using the LLC to hold assets and the trust to own the LLC. This creates a double layer of legal protection, asset separation, and privacy. All right, so when do you use South Dakota? Not every time for whatever you're doing, South Dakota is needed. Well, if you want to pass down assets, even modest ones, to your kids, your family without probate, taxes, or court involvement, South Dakota. You're building long-term wealth, real estate, royalties, equity, and want it protected from lawsuits, divorces, or IRS digging. Divorces. You want multi-generational control without your business or family finances becoming public. You plan to combine trust with LLCs for layered protection. Wyoming LLCs or owned by a South Dakota trust, that's layered protection. Or you want to legally shield your name and your legacy permanently. There it is. I got some links here. You could go to National Advisors Trust. You could just search them online. You could go to Independent Trust. You could search them online. But check this out. All while you're doing this, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. There's 2 more states that I want to talk about in America, but I think South Dakota kind of gives you the idea of what's going on. Peace.